Hi, everyone. Do you know what document that 68% of Americans do not have yet really need? That's right, it's a will. Everyone needs a will. Everyone over 18 needs a will. According to a recent study by caring.com, these are the 4 top reasons why people don't have a will. 40% of people say they don't have enough assets in order to make a will. 40% say they haven't gotten around to it, which we're going to talk about because I think that's one of the most common reasons. 13% feel it's too expensive. 12% said they simply don't know how to create one. So let's change that statistic, and I'm encouraging everyone that's listening to go out and create a will. Hi, I'm Sandra Park. I'm a financial coach and engineer of over 20 years, helping women in STEM empower themselves to control their money so their money doesn't control them. I help women learn to budget, build savings, reduce debt, and set themselves up so that they can build wealth and live the lives that they want. On this channel, I talk about everything from building a budget to building wealth. Let's get back to talking about a will. It's absolutely essential. And I know it's an uncomfortable topic because the thought of someone passing away, or in this case, of you yourself dying, is a very uncomfortable subject. But studies show that 100% of people that create a will do actually pass away. That's a joke. Just saying everyone will die sometime in their lifetime. And why not prepare the best you can to set yourself up and so that this can be a time that's already so stressful and they're mourning and they're dealing with a lot of things going on. But money and your finances and your assets are not a thing that they have to worry about. This is a gift that you can give to your family. Why do you need a will? A will is a legal document that outlines how you want your assets to be taken care of if you pass away. It also can cover your final wishes. And without this, the state will decide all of this for you. So who would you rather have decide all of this, you or the state? And I also want to emphasize creating a will is not just creating a Word document or scribbling it on a piece of paper. You want to make sure that it can stand up in a court of law. I do have a story about meeting someone at a book signing recently, and it was a woman very close to my age, and she was telling me how she had recently become widowed. Her husband had very unexpectedly gone to the hospital for something. I can't remember exactly what, but in less than 24 hours, he passed away. This was totally unanticipated and unexpected death. He wasn't even 40 yet. They had one young child. But she told me that one of the things that gave her a lot of peace in this time of transition and figuring things out for her future and for her life going forward was that they had just done their will a year prior. And because of that, the legal and financial aspects of this big transition and sad event in her life will be that much easier on her and her daughter. Here are some key considerations for creating your will. You're going to have to choose an executor. So an executor is the person that's going to carry out the wishes that you document in this will. Make sure you choose someone that you trust. I also would maybe consider pick someone that doesn't crumble in times of stress, that is good at following what you put in writing. It doesn't necessarily have to be someone you're related to either. If it makes it easier to have it someone outside of your family, that's possible too. But make sure you actually decide on who's going to execute this will. Because what is the point in making a will and you don't have an executor, or you have an executor that crumbles under pressure, or just, to be honest, maybe if they're unreliable and they're incredibly hard to find, or they don't actually execute your wishes. That peace of mind of knowing that you picked the right person will really give you comfort in case anything happens. The next thing you need to do is you need to name your beneficiaries. Clearly state who's going to inherit your assets, your property, your accounts, who gets what and in what portion. You might also consider putting other things of value in your will. Even if they aren't of value, maybe you have some sentimental items, maybe deciding who's going to get those items and no one has to argue or have disputes over who's going to receive what. If you have minor children, you do have to decide upon guardianship for your children. This is a very important decision for parents. I remember me struggling with that decision myself. Who would take care of my son if the worst scenario happened and I wasn't around to take care of him anymore? This is not a decision to be taken lightly. I would also caution that if you have family members that maybe are assuming that they will be the guardian, you might want to just make your decision be known. That's a personal thing. That's up to you. But if you think that there's going to be consternation or a conflict because maybe you didn't necessarily pick the most obvious decision, you might want to just let the people in your family know. And I also think it's really courteous that you ask the future potential guardian of your children if they are okay with that. Also, going along with your will, for those of you that have accesses to accounts online, this is probably a good place to also attach your account names, passwords, what are your account numbers. I have a document where it lists everything that I have, all the accounts, all the account numbers, all that information. It just makes it easier. Even if you have all the beneficiaries and everything set up and you have a will, it's just people know what they're working with should you happen to pass. The other thing about a will is that your life can change, right? There could be marriage, divorce, adoption, you can move, and you need to update the will when life changes. Make sure you keep your will safe. You do need the original signed copy somewhere, and I highly suggest letting your executor know where that is so that they may find it. There will be no will searching parties after you pass away. And as I mentioned before about the need to update your will regularly, you might want to just set a date on your calendar that triggers you to review your will and look at your documents that you have all together. I suggest creating a legacy drawer or whatever you want to call it. I have an area in my house where all my documents are together and the people that need to know where they're at. I know this isn't the easiest subject to talk about, but a will is one of the most responsible and loving things that you can do for your family. It's about ensuring your wishes are honored and reducing stress during an emotional time. If you're feeling overwhelmed by the thought of creating a will or any part of your financial future, I'm here to help. I'm a financial coach and I help people think about these things. I'm not a lawyer. I can't make the will for you, but I can definitely help you think it through so that you can make it through the process instead of being overwhelmed by all the daunting questions. But take that first step. Put this on your to-do list if you don't have a will made. Until next time, I'll see you in the next video.